Yeah, this is so crucial that if God looks down from heaven.
Rise 6 a.m. to 10 Freud and iOS stores. Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Your radio experience you can count on.
Has anyone told you you can talk about your business on radio for just
20,000 naira?
Get a chance to talk your business for 25 minutes on The Entrepreneur. Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. For more inquiries, call
080-5919-8658. 080-5919-8658.
Hurry now.
Alright, welcome back to Eagles Outlook right here on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Yes, we give you an audio-visual radio experience that you can count on anytime, any day, wherever it is you're listening to the sound of my voice from. I want to say that we appreciate you in no small way. Now, let's go talk politics and current affairs. By the way, my name is Uduak Daniel. Tell somebody to tell every other person, because this conversation, the topical issue in discourse this morning, is something that bothers around police use of tear gas in Nigeria, becoming a growing concern. Now, it might have happened to you, it might have happened to a loved one, it might have happened to some kid space and all of that, and suddenly there's a commotion here and there is tear gas canisters, in the air, and suddenly peppery feeling in your eye, and that feeling is really not a great sensation, I must say. But then the use of tear gas by Nigerian police during protest has sparked controversy, and it is raising concerns about human rights abuses. So imagine that you are at a peaceful party and someone is starting to throw pepper spray at everyone. Just imagine that feeling. You're just at a party and somebody just holds a pepper spray and it's spraying it into everybody's eyes or faces and all of that. That's exactly how protesters feel when police use tear gas on them. So it's a really painful and potentially deadly experience. Omoyele Sowore, a human rights activist, has been one of such who has condemned the police for using tear gas and kinetic impact, even projectiles, especially citing the risks to public health and safety. Now, let me take you to 2020. Recall that the hashtag #EndSARS protest actually highlighted for us police brutality and led to calls for reform. However, though, the use of this tear gas and even other forms of crowd control continues to be of great concern. Amnesty International has documented cases of police abusing tear gas, including firing it into confined spaces as well as directly at individuals. But then again, would you blame the police for using tear gas? Why do they even fix to disperse crowds rather than a last resort? So police are trained. By training, they're trained to maintain order. And sometimes they see the tear gas as an easy way to do that. And this is coming from Dr. Akinola. That's what he says. He's a criminology expert. However, this approach can lead to more harm than good, causing injuries and even deaths. Now, this is not far-fetched from the situation that happened in Buari, where a DPO, Baba something, right, on the very 1st of January 2026 through tear gas canisters at unsuspected victims, Nigerian youths who were just celebrating the new year, based on some information that he got that hoodlums were operating in that area. So it takes us to a place of professionalism. And at what point should the tear gas be used, if ever? Some are saying that the tear gas thingy is a harsher way of dispersing people, and it's not right, especially if the situation does not call for it. Some have even said that using tear gas is when you are trying to disperse people who have the tendency for a crime. In fact, they've said for terrorists, as that's the only time you should use tear gas. But we're connecting with our guest in a short bit. Isn't a person of Comrade Gerald Okachi. Now, he is fundamentally a human rights activist, a public affairs commentator. He's a social analyst, as well as a conflict resolution expert. And he will be adding his voice in the discourse this morning as we go conversational on the matter this morning, right? But still trying to connect with him. Let's see how that pans out right about now. Hello, good morning to you, comrade.
Yes, a very good morning to you, D, and good morning to our people.
Awesome.
Listening to us whenever they have.
Awesome. Comrade, it does feel as though January is coming to a close. I mean, January 30 it is today. And we've seen a lot of drama, that has gone down in the political scene. However, comrade, we want to focus this time on the police use of tear gas. So we've seen the protests that rocked in Lagos over a demolition in the Makoko area of Lagos State, right there in the Oworoshaki area of Lagos State, where the people have been displaced. They now sleep on the bridge and in open spaces. And they've marched to the government house saying, please, what is going on? We want compensation. You can't leave us like this, and all of that. Well, while that protest was going on, it was said that the police used tear gas on these people. And some already faulting the police and saying, why resort to a tear gas? And even Amnesty International has added their voice. Omoyele Sowore, who's an activist as well, has added his voice. And a couple of Nigerians are also speaking in the same light. But then it has become so much of a trend, and it's becoming a growing concern. If you also recall the one that happened in Buari, of course, where we had the conversation and all of that. I mean, comrade, let us have your voice in the matter. What do you think? And when should tear gas be deployed ever during protests?
UD, you will agree with me that global standard, whenever it comes to use of tear gas, it's meant to be a crowd control tool.
All right.
Of last resort, not a punishment weapon.
Okay.
But in Nigeria today, it is used as punishment from exceptional to routine at protests, whether it's labor actions, community disputes, student demonstrations, and even peaceful assemblies. This trend raises serious questions about policing philosophy, accountability, and respect for constitutional rights. You ask yourself why the use of tear gas is increasing. A militarized police culture that we have seen in Nigeria. The Nigerian police still operates largely with a command and control force first mindset. Peaceful dissent is often perceived as a security threat, not a democratic right. which ought not to be. Officers are trained more in suppression than the escalation. Of course, in Nigeria today, we have weak crowd management capacity almost in everything we do. Either it's events have been organized, you see poor management crowd capacity. And these are part of the things that fuel this continuous use of force. Poor training in non-violent control or crowd control. Lack of equipment like body cameras, negotiation teams, and rapid dialogue units. These are some of the things I expect Nigerian police force to have, and that is why a few of them, when you see those who use human face are more civil with regard to professionalism, I give them thumbs up. Tear gas has become the default response because it is easy and immediate. And because we have low accountability, there have been real consequences for misuse or excessive deployment, just as you cited the case of Buhari Area Council. They needed it. There were no protests. They were just celebrating New Year. And because maybe the man in charge is in need of money or he has a target, I don't know, because that is what is the case nowadays. You just see random arrests. They either frame you up with a charge if you fail to bail yourself, or maybe they will cause serious harm or their intimidation. If in an attempt to intimidate you, they injure you, harass you in a way that they will create fears in order to extort money. So whenever you see those kind of intimidations, no matter how strong you are, you submit to whatever they ask you to come up with, either in form of bail conditions. By the time you are congested in a cell, a cell are not supposed to keep up to 10 persons, will be harboring almost 100 persons. You guys will tight up to the wall. Everywhere be smelling, heat everywhere. You will be forced to find your freedom. There should be internal investigations where these kind of things happen. Victims struggle to get just even acknowledgement, like you can see in the recent time where clergy, make a clear call for interventions that over 170 persons have been kidnapped, rather than showing empathy, showing solidarity, showing that one can actually be in control of situation. We begin to see denials, politicization of such situation, making it a secondary victimization to the already traumatized victims. We really have consequences for this kind of behaviors, and it becomes a constitutional issue. Nigerian constitution guarantees freedom of assembly and expression. Using tear gas on peaceful protesters undermine these rights. Law enforcement must justify necessities, proportionality, and legality whenever such thing happens, because it causes health and safety risk. Tear gas can cause breathing complications, asthma attacks, eye damage, as you can see with regards to Buhari case, miscarriages, and long-term respiratory issues. I've experienced it several times. Last year, when we are carrying out protests, several times we have been tear gas. I struggle to breathe. I struggle to, even when we begin to look for local ways, just to manage the situation. They will ask us to buy Coke, wash your face, get face mask. It don't usually happen. And sometimes I struggle to even see the rationale behind throwing of tear gas. Because tear gas is a tool that pushes to collective punishment. Tear gas does not discriminate. Entire communities, markets, homes, and worship centers are exposed. This amounts to indiscriminate use of force. Even people that are concerned, people are not concerned, whenever tear gas is thrown, suffer the pain of this chemical attack. And note, Public trust and police citizens relationship. Every time tear gas is fired at peaceful citizens, trust is erodes, anger replaces dialogue, police legitimacy weakens, and that is why it appears like today police and the citizen relationship is at the lowest age.
Well,
that
yeah,
even you cannot even make comparison with any country, because whenever they have given Nigerian police different local names.
But comrade,
there's no community go in any language that don't have one phrase or one name that they are giving, and it's usually not a positive nicknames.
But comrade.
So you cannot beat community policing with chemical intimidation.
Right, comrade. But we have seen in cases where what you call a peaceful protest has been hijacked by hoodlums. A peaceful protest turns rogue. A peaceful protest has led to the vandalization of national assets. A peaceful protest has become very and highly chaotic. And it has also threatened the lives of the citizenry. Can we now not say that it is only natural to use the excessive force as a countermeasure in the language that these rogues or hoodlums can understand?
You see, UD.
No, I'm just saying, because if I was a police officer and I see that a peaceful protest has gone rogue and is hijacked, and I am at the mercy of the protesters or this rogue protesters, what do I do? If I am outnumbered, what do I do? I might probably want to think in that light, comrade. You may also want to think that way. The tear gas is just a way. So in such a situation, what do you expect of the police?
You see, UD.
Yes, please.
Some of these things you raised are some of...
no, comrade, are you saying there are no rogue protests that have been hijacked by hoodlums? Are you saying that there are no protests like that?
You asked a question. Just allow me, UD.
Okay, go ahead.
All the protests I have been involved in,
yes,
I have participated.
Yes.
I have not seen protests hijacked except those that raise such alarm. That is why you can easily say that a witch cries at night, a child dies in the morning. Take, for example, in August 2024 End Bad Governance protests, before the protest took place on August 1st, the government, we are well aware that protests of such magnitude will take place, and they started pro-government protests. In that pro-government protest, they mobilized, they went to faith-based organization, traditional rulers, trying to get their voice to join them to, persuade Nigerian youth not to be on the street to demand for accountability and improving governance.
Who went there? Who are these people that went there? Who are the people that went? Who are the people that went to the traditional
Nigerian government?
Okay, Nigerian government. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And why they were doing that from the either National Orientation Agency or Ministry of Information or Nigerian government, including the police themselves, why they were doing that? There were no reports of possible hijack. There were no reports of police tear gassing, even pro-government protesters that are encouraging those policies that are causing more harm than good. There were no national security threats to all of that. But immediately the D-Day for the protest comes up, we saw the same government in FCT led by Nyesom Wike obtaining court order demanding that protesters should go to the national stadium and not to be on the streets. It's just like you beat a child, you are telling the child how to cry, just to show you those aberrations. And then we obeyed and went to the national stadium. UD, inside the national stadium, while we were inside protesting our protest, that we are supposed to be on the street so that the government will hear us. They still mobilize pro-government protesters to come inside the stadium to attack peaceful protesters.
Attack?
What do you call it? If you ask people, if you isolate people to go to a place and do their protest, it's just as we normally have unity fountain, which is always under lock and keys nowadays. And you go to protest peacefully. Fresh people who have been protesting for more than a week, in support of what the government is doing, will come inside the stadium carrying sticks. What do you call it? Just as you saw in the NSAS protest, where you saw men in SUV and suits directing hoodlums and the criminals who to attack. It's not as if we are not aware of all of this. So let's not just behave like ostrich that will hide his head and expose the entire big body. That is the case. Making case for where there are none, because we are lacking ability to use superior argument to quench any idea or argument, which is expected of the government and the police. Authority often argue with the justification that tear gas can prevent violence. It is not lethal, it protects officers, but the real issue is not existence of tear gas. It is when it is used, how it is used, against whom it is used, who is held accountable afterwards. A case in view like the one in Buhari, where it was used and somebody's eye was badly damaged, another taxi was reported to have died, and many others got seriously injured. Civil society and international standards, globally accepted standards, say that tear gas should be used only when there is imminent violence. And I have never seen any protest carried out that you can say that is violent, except people instigate it or induce it. If, for example, during the NSAS protest, you agree with me that for those protests took place, there were no threats or violence until those in authority under the leadership of late President Muhammad Buhari devised a means to incite violence. You begin to see those who carry stick to say Baba and start hitting protesters. It is all over the media. The videos are over there, thereby causing provocation and retaliation or reaction. It is a fact. Clear warning must be issued before you throw tear gas. Escape routes must be provided before you throw tear gas. Medical assistance must be made available. There have never been any place where police throw tear gas that you look around, you see ambulance for immediate intervention or emergencies when such a thing occurs. In Nigeria, these safeguards are often ignored and poorly implemented. So because if they throw tear gas, if you die, you die. If you survive, you survive. And that's because we have a poor justice system. Because if you have a good justice system, if you throw tear gas and I'm in my shop doing business or I'm in my office doing my work, I don't know what is going on the street, and because you throw tear gas, it affects my head. I should be able to fight suit against you. I should be able to take illegal action.
But isn't that possible in Nigeria? Isn't that possible?
In Nigeria.
Why isn't that possible? I mean, it's the law. You have the right to do that.
Well, it's a right that has been tested in many ways.
Okay.
I will give you a classical example. In 2020, at Bega, January like this, I think January 21st, a journalist like you was doing his job at Bega Bridge roundabout, covering shite. That journalist was working with 3 different media groups, covering shite protests. He did not carry arms. He did not join protests, but he was shot at close range.
By who?
By name Alexander Obu.
By who?
He has a wife. He has children.
It was shot.
And when he fell down,
it was shot by who?
Just the police, of course.
Oh, the police. Okay.
Police from Otako.
Okay.
Now, the reports they gave us when we went there was that he was running because they shoot tear gas, and he slipped on a stone, iron, and he fell down with his head hitting iron. The family nearly believed The wife said no. We comrades said no. It cannot be so. Autopsy was conducted at the National Hospital, and it was revealed that he was shot at close range in the head. And with that took us to court, we filed fundamental suits. Good enough, by 2023, we got judgment against the police. This is 2026. That judgment have not been enforced.
Up until now,
and that judgment was not appealed.
It has not been enforced up until now.
Yes. We have written to Police Service Commission, Ministry of Police Affairs, Inspector General of Police, name it. Anywhere you can mention that you can take your case to. A compensation of, I think, a award of 50 million was to the family and the children that was left behind, that we are suffering, that comrades from time to time will contribute to ensure that their upkeep are met.
Okay.
So when you begin to talk about what do you call it, such thing can be filed. In this situation, it was filed. Every court pronounced that police were wrong. Indicted them in that judgment. So in situations like this, what can you do? During a panel set up by I think Vice President Oshimo Sibanjo to inquire about EndSARS protests, there were indictments. In fact, there were revelations that there were judgments against Nigerian police for that predated 10 years ago. The situation in view now is the case of this Buhari, which you have seen testimonies, videos, people coming out. It's not a situation where you begin to say, okay, testifiers are hiding their face or they are not coming, or victims are not coming. They came out pointing accusing finger on the DPO that he shot. The shooting of live arms or tear gas led to blinding of a citizen, led to death of another person. And such a person is still kept to be in charge of that division, while they claim that investigation is going on.
So
can you imagine that
comrade, if we understand you correctly, it is the system. The system is messed up. Is it about
really messed up?
The system, right? So what can we do? What can we do to change the narrative, especially with CSOs?
Way forward, what we need to do to change the narrative. There are always clear rules of engagement. Publish and enforce strict guidelines on tear gas deployment. Make violations punishable and public. There should be training and reorientation of all the officers, no matter the rank and file. Emphasize on using human faith, civil approach, de-escalation, negotiation, and crowd psychology. It shouldn't be. That is why there was a CP that was recently appointed to be the CP of Delta State. That is Aina Adiola. I saw that appointment. I was marveled that even IGP can identify capacity, merit, because I've known that officer for years while he was in Abuja as officer. He has maintained absolute discipline, professionalism, integrity. I don't usually talk about officer, but when you see one or two that have distinguished themselves, you give thumbs up, because he uses human face in engagement in all that he does. It does. So I expect Delta State they have posted him. We benefit from his professionalism. Okay. There should be accountability and oversight. We must strengthen Police Service Commission, National Human Rights Commission, and independent monitoring. Mandatory reporting and documentation of every tear gas use. Of course, we must look into community policing that we are pushing. Dialogue units before riot units must be established. Engagement before enforcement is the best way.
Okay.
So tear gas should control violence, not silent dissent.
All right, comrade.
A police force that tear gases full citizens is already showing that he doesn't have confidence that the policing fear, not security. Crowd control without accountability is collective punishment that we must challenge and put an end to. So you cannot reform the police while normalizing excessive use of force.
Right. Well, comrade, let me put a peg to your thoughts now. We have a timeout now. We will come back with a time in, and when we do come back, of course, it will be about hearing from the family members and Nigerians what they've got to say on the matter. Right? Keep it locked.
Things they happen for our community, eh?
Now I can recoup back all the money I have spent on this annoying family.
Hey, yeah. That woman own don't finish.
My dear, let's go and greet them, okay?
Hey! Join Media Coalition and Awareness to hold trafficking, MICAT, on I Wish I Knew radio drama and program every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Join us to kick human trafficking out of our society. I Wish I Knew radio drama and program is brought to you by MICAT and funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark.
There's so much more to enjoy when you fly in Emirates Economy. More legroom, delicious regionally inspired meals, complimentary free-flowing drinks, and the latest movies, TV shows, music, and live sport. Some of the best entertainment in the skies. And our family services make your journey simple and fun. Plan your next trip and start the holiday early in Emirates Economy. Fly Emirates, fly better.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on this website: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, SEC 0209-462-1168, 0916-772-3240. Announcer, FSRCC.
Powell Homes and Shelters Limited, a real estate company. We be baba for properties. Our properties not your best.
Please listen to this important infomercial. It's Powell's time on radio. Abuja. Powell Homes and Shelters Limited has come with a vision of transforming housing through innovation, style and integrity. At Powell Homes and Shelters Limited, we deliver affordable luxury, comfort and reliability in real estate. We offer genuine lands, elegant homes, modern designs and flexible payment plans to make your dream home a reality. Visit us today and experience excellence you can trust. Our address is number 52, Suez Crescent, Abacha Estate, Wuse Zone 4, Abuja. You can call us on telephone number 081-510-20000 or 080-925-70000. The number to call us once again is 081-510-20000 or 080-926-70000. Now let's hear what your sister and veteran Nollywood actress Patience Ozoko, Mama G.
Need a brand you can trust? Think Powell Home and Shelters Limited. With a reputation built on honesty and reliability, we ensure your investment is secured. Our team of experts is dedicated to providing personalized service tailored to your needs. Join countless of satisfied customers who have found their dream properties with us. For inquiries, please call 0815 102 0000 or 0809 257 0000. We can get you property from any part of Nigeria.
Office is at number 52, Suez Crescent, Abacha Estate, Wuse Zone 4, Abuja. We also have branches in Enugu, Owerri, Oka, and Asaba, and Nairobi. Think real estate, think Powell.
Powell Homes and Shelters Limited, a real estate company.
minutes gone past the hour of 9 on the AM side. Now we're looking at a trend of the use of tear gas at every point in time when we have issues of protest, or sometimes even when it's unnecessary, when there was no need for it. We just see the use of this tear gas right there used on Nigerians. But it might also suffice to note and to say that this is not only happening in Nigeria. I mean,